Good afternoon, everyone, and how are we doing? Hello, Ngozi. Thank you for being here. Always first. Really appreciate your being here with us. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And how have we been? How's your week been? How's your work week been? And hello, hello, hello. Thank you for joining me on another Friday Live. Next 30 to, well, 40 to 50 minutes. We promise to keep it short, keep it sweet, and just give you value like we love to give you value. Hello, hello, hello. You're welcome. Just going to wait for a couple of minutes till more people join, and we will be on our journey to knowing, to learning the whisper within, how to rebuild trust with yourself after being drowned out. We've been talking about various things. We've talked about designing your rhythms. We've talked about muting yourself, and we're still on that journey. It's still that same journey because, like I always say, it's not a one-off thing. Rediscovering yourself, finding your voice, understanding that your voice matters, breaking out of patterns, all these things take time. It's not a hit and run thing. It's not something you just come, get it, and then you go. Truth of the matter is that growth is continuous. I mean, you won't say because your baby started walking and then you would not look for the other milestones. There are also milestones in our lives, in our personal development lives, and it's something that we need to understand that it's not a one-stop shop. It's a long, long journey. We're in for it for the long haul. As far as you want to grow, then you keep on shedding, you keep on decluttering, you keep on bringing on new knowledge, new insight, and that's what keeps us fresh. That's what keeps us buoyant. So welcome, 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 welcome. Um, I'm just gonna go right in. Um, Last week we talked about designing a life that speaks, and we talked about building rhythms that honor the woman that you are or that you're becoming. Keeping that schedule, keeping honoring the commitment you make to yourself is really important. And you're more than what you are as a role. You're more than a mom, and the woman beneath all that role and all that. So we've talked about what happens when rhythms are in place. We talked about what if your voice still trembles. Yeah. When you know what you want but you still don't act on it. And these are the things that these are real things. Sometimes we second guess ourselves, sometimes we doubt ourselves, and those are real issues that we face. you know so we're going to be diving into that second guessing. Why do we keep second guessing ourselves? How do we rebuild trust with yourself? You've been drowned out by chores, you've been drowned out by responsibilities, by being a mom, just by I was making a joke in my head. There was no one to share it with, so maybe I should just share here. And someone asked me, sometimes I act drama in my head and or role play in my head, and then someone asked me, "What's your name?" And I said, "My name is Mom, and my middle name is Babe. Have you seen my XYZ?" That's my husband asking me if I'd seen something he had kept. But yes, we keep on getting those, mom, you're the snack dispenser, you're the uniform keeper. You have many titles. So, in all that drowning, where are you? Let's dive into hello Bukola. Nice to see you here, and thank you for joining us. Really appreciate. Um, what happens when your own voice doesn't feel safe anymore, because so much has gone on in just giving yourself constantly so much. And how do you heal from the wound of broken self-trust? So it's not somebody else who breaks your self-trust. It's you, and all that second guessing, you not trusting your voice. You've given advice in the past, it didn't work. Okay. So how do I start to trust myself again? How do I start to trust my intuition again? How do I do this again? So let's just go right on. Self-trust erodes quietly when your needs are dismissed. So it's not, it just happened. Over time, your needs are dismissed. You put yourself at the back burner, over and over. Somehow you show up for everyone but yourself. So, self-trust starts to erode, it starts to diminish, it starts to, ebb out, little by little. So it's not just I woke up one morning and I didn't trust myself anymore. I didn't trust my voice anymore. It's not just that, it's over time when, needs are dismissed over and over again. When you make yourself small to survive or to be accepted. I don't know if anybody remembers my story when I said I received a text and I was like, what happened? This is see finish. I'm like, who who does this to another human being? But you've fitted in every other person into your own space and into your own life, but somehow you become invisible. And it's a real story. Whenever I say my own story, I hear things like, oh no, it happens. Like it really does happen. Being a people pleaser, being a pushover, it's something that really, really can, I know a lot of people can resonate with. And when you start asking others to validate what your heart already knows. So you want to make a decision, for instance, and then you're like, you're, I'll say it again, second guessing. And it's a thing. You begin to doubt your own instincts. You start to apologize for your opinion. So you start to feel like your opinion doesn't matter and you don't speak up, not because you don't care, because you don't trust what will happen if you do. So you just literally, let's fade out. You're in a WhatsApp group, you're in a learning community, you're like, my opinion doesn't matter. There's some people, there are people in the front that always know it. So let them talk, and then you don't put yourself as part of those people that need that need to talk, or that need to stand up and they need to voice out. So it's something that happens. Self-trust starts to erode. You stop to trust in your voice. I want you to take a moment now and think, at what point did you start to think that your voice didn't matter? I just want you to pause and think. At what point did you think, or did you learn, or did you start to vocalize in your mind, or conceptualize in your mind that, oh, my voice doesn't matter? At what point was this? I want you to write it down. These are important things. I keep saying this thing. Think about your thoughts. They're not ordinary. Your thoughts are not ordinary. Your thoughts they point you to what they're speaking things in your subconscious. The little voices that in your head that are telling you this and telling you that. Just think about why you feel that way. Think about your feelings. Think about your reactions. Why did I react this way to my child? Why did I react this way to my husband? Why did I react this way to my friends? Why do I react the way that I react? It's very important, because self-awareness, like we have mentioned last week, is key to understanding your journey, because it's usually not the thing. So sometimes the thing that the person does is nothing. I mean, the person will do to another person and the person won't react. So why do we react to the things that we react to? These are questions that we need to ask. So pause, ask yourself, when did I start to think? When did I start to take it upon myself that my voice is not that my voice does not matter? At what point did I stop believing it? Or maybe you've never even believed in yourself. Like maybe I shouldn't even make that assumption. But at what point, even if you've never, but at what point do you notice that you've shrunk yourself, you've become small? And who else here can relate to keeping yourself small just to maintain? Because I don't want trouble, I don't want wahala, so let me keep quiet. It's something that happens. It's something that we do sometimes unconsciously. It's okay. I'm not saying look for trouble. I'm not saying, rock the boat. But when you need to speak up, are you able to speak up? Are you able to say that I don't like this thing, I don't like this situation, and want to change it for yourself? Hello, Bumi. Thank you for joining the live today. Really, really, really grateful. And I can see you can relate. Thank you. So as I was saying about my own situation, and just having people around, you there's a difference between I'm actually a people's person. I actually love people, but there's a difference between that and being a people pleaser. So I can be a people's person, want to, I have a desire, a very strong desire to want to know to want to meet you and leave you better than I met you. I want to bring value to a relationship. I want to bring value to people that I'm close to. I want to even if I'm not close to you. So you will see me constantly volunteering for things because I just want to bring value. But there's a point where you start to use that love for bringing value to because start to try to please people. And I'm so grateful when I realized the point where this was no longer bringing value. This was now people pleasing. When you just shut yourself down. You have friends, you have business, you don't have business being friends with. You have people around you. You have no business being around, but you just want to keep the peace. You know, when I got that message and I just realized, oh no, it was first of all, an eye opener that Debbie, you are invisible. There's certain people you won't talk to that way. That way you have become invisible. And that realization has brought me to where I am today. That realization has made me realize that, being a mom can just bury you. It can just bury you. All the responsibilities. You're the snack dispenser. You're the, everything. You keep peace. You are peacekeeper between the two children. They're constantly barraging on your thoughts. You have to keep thinking. Sometimes you're with your friends, but you're not even present with your friends because you're actually just thinking, okay, so today is Friday, and then I need to do the laundry, and then I need to. It never stops there. I need to. In that I need to, it is so possible to just become invisible, just hide, just, you no longer show up for who you are. What are the common signs that your self-trust is broken? I'm going to give you 3 signs or 4 signs. I'm going to talk about 4 signs that show how your self-trust has been broken. When you second guess every decision. So you want to do something. You've been wanting to do that thing for a very long time. Maybe start a blog or I don't know, whatever it is. And I'm not talking of something for the kids because you never hesitate to do something for the kids. You're happy to fill up your calendar with kids' activities. Oh, let's do another play date. Let's take them to another soft play. Let's take them for another treat. You're happy to do all those things, or maybe you're not happy. I don't know, but you know what I mean. You're obliged to do all those things. But when it comes to yourself, I need to start earning better, or I need to leave what I'm doing, or I need to start this thing, or I need to go to the gym. You start to second guess. If I start now, how will I know that then tomorrow that I will have time? Okay, learn how to do something new. Okay, I want to make a decision to, I don't know, whatever it is. And then you're like, you ask your friend, you ask your sister, you ask your mom, you ask every other person. You've never really asked, what does Debbie really want, or what do I really want? You ask your husband, then say, oh, whatever you guys decide, whatever you guys. So it becomes your decisions now, are based on other people's decisions or other people's happiness or other people. You're not full. You can't see how we say it in Nigeria. Own it with your full chest. You can't own it with your full chest that this is your decision. You abandon your needs quickly to keep others comfortable. That's another sign that you have a broken self-trust. You abandon your needs. You're like, okay, it's fine. It's okay. You know that, oh, it's okay. It's fine. Is it really fine? The last time you said it's fine, it's okay, was it really, really fine? Did you abandon your own need just to accommodate every other person in your life? Did you abandon your own self? Did you abandon your own resting just to accommodate? When last did you say no? You seek external permission for every bold move. So, do you want to start a business? Oh, I've been at home. I want to start a business. I want to do this. I want to do that. I want to take a new course. But you prefer that somebody else gives you the permission. Okay. And then if you ask 4 or 5 people, I'm not saying that don't ask people for opinion. But first of all, find out what do you want first of all. So you ask 4 or 5 people, and the 4 or 5 people that you ask, they all have different interests. They all have different affiliations to you. They all have, different things they need from you. So the person one, maybe your husband, says, "Oh, I don't think so," because he doesn't think so for his own reason. Then you ask person two, maybe your mom, no, don't do that. Oh, I don't even think a woman should be doing that. Person three, oh, your dad, you can do anything you want to do. Person four says something else. Person four, maybe your best friend. And then person four says, it's okay. Are you sure? So all these people have come with their own perspective. I'm not saying perspective is wrong, but they've all come with their own perspective. But you cannot take any bold move. You need that external permission. And when maybe the four strongest relationships you have in your life are not, are not aligned, you find out that okay, you're not happy to move forward with the decision. You want to start a crash, you want to start child minding, you want to do something, but these four strongest voices in your head, in your mind, in your life, in your life, they're not. So you're like, okay, my husband doesn't think so, my father thinks so, my mother thinks so, my best friend is in between. External permission. You freeze. Self-trust, your own self-trust is broken. You've lost the ability to see what is good for you. And then you keep telling yourself, maybe later, okay, when the firstborn is in secondary school, I'll start. Okay, the first one is now in secondary school. Okay, when she's in year 3, year 9, I will start. At least by year 9, she'll be getting ready for senior school. I will start. Okay, and then it keeps going. The okay later will keep going, and we keep going, and we keep going. And time just goes. Self-trust has been broken. And that's why making major decisions in your life, making bold moves in your life, making decisions that you know how old you are, you know how much time flies and all that, and you're telling yourself, later, and then later becomes when. Later becomes when. And that's why you hear a lot of women, they're older, but they're regretting all the bold moves they didn't make. And who said it won't work? Who said that it won't work? Sometimes you just need to take that decision. Sometimes you just need to take that step. Sometimes you just need to push ourselves to do the things that we are afraid to do. Even sitting down here talking to you in a camera, I would not ordinarily have thought myself to be that person. But I said, no, take that bold move. Take that bold move. Be on social media. It's fine. I'm not seeking perfection. I'm seeking progress. But what is it that, keeps you stuck, keeps you, self-trust broken? You need to deal with these things, because these are the things that slowly and surely time goes, and then you realize, oh, I am just living a script. I'm actually not the one who scripted this. So we've talked before about autopilot and designing a life that you want to live. It's very possible to design. It's very, very possible. It's absolutely possible. But you can live on, oh, I wake up, I sleep, I wake up, I sleep, children go to school, wake up, sleep, children go to school, just like that. And then time goes. Which of this is your default? Think about it. Do you wait for external permission? Do you keep telling yourself later? Do you keep abandoning your needs quickly just to keep others comfortable? Or do you second guess every decision? What's your default? Just think about it. Think about this. Think about it. Think about it. Think about it and say to yourself that you're going to change that narrative. It's possible to change the narrative. It's possible. And then the hidden cost of silencing yourself. We're going to be looking at the hidden cost of silencing yourself. When you silence yourself, you pay, even if no one sees the invoice. When you silence yourself, you pay, even if no one sees the invoice. When you stop, when I say, hey, mamas, let's start living. When you stop, when everything is, just by default, there's a payment to pay. Some people never reach their highest potential just because they never took a chance on themselves. When I was starting discovery coaching, your discovery coach, I said to myself, I'm going to take a chance on Debbie. What's the worst that can happen? That's what I told myself until I was like, I kept saying it until I did it. I was like, I'm going to take a chance on myself. What's the worst that can happen? I fail. I learn from the failure. I grow, and then I grow. But to start to think of the consequence of what will happen without actually doing it is just shooting yourself short, because you'd never know how the outcome will be if you don't start, or if you don't change your trajectory, or if you don't change your story. You never know what will happen if you don't write that book, if you don't do the things that are burning in your heart for you to do. You will never know. You will never ever know what it would take to grow or to soar if you don't take a chance and spread your wings. So there's a hidden cost. There's a hidden cost to pay. You may not, no one may see the invoice, but you yourself, you will know. You pay with your joy. You're constantly unhappy. Like, is this all that there is to life? I was talking to someone this week, and the person said, I knew that there was something, I know that there's something more about life, and I just want to experience it. Recently, I've just been craving. I said, no, God, there's something more. There is something more. It's not about just waking up, cleaning up, doing that, the rat race, the hamster wheel. You're constantly in motion, but you're not getting any results. There's no joy. We see you, you're laughing, but in your heart, you're yearning for more. You pay with your confidence. Every time you sell yourself short, every time you keep quiet, your confidence dwindles. You pay with your confidence. You pay with your peace, because you know deep down you that there's more. So you're restless. You pay with your peace. With your child learning, and you pay with your child learning to silence themselves too. Remember that I said that every time you rise, you give your children the opportunity to rise. For every time you soar, you give your children the opportunity to also spread their wings and fly. For every time you grow, you create an expansive space that your children can also grow and also rise. So let's not stay small. Let's not stay second guessing. Let's not stay silent. Let's not stay with a broken self-trust. We don't need it. The world is for the bold and for the daring. And if you dare, you will never know what you can achieve until you dare. So we'll talk about the journey back to you. And rebuilding trust isn't dramatic. Like I said in the beginning of this talk, I said it's not a one-off thing. It's not something that you will come and say, I came for a webinar and I got it. And it's not a dramatic moment. It's not, oh, I got it. It's a daily decision. You build a life that you desire on daily decisions. You build a life that you want on daily decisions. It's not, I want to lose 10 kg. I don't want to lose 10 kg because I don't know what I will look like if I lose 10 kg, but I'm just giving that as an example. I want to lose 10 kg. I go on my treadmill, my lovely walking pad is my treadmill, my lovely walking pad just beside me. I go on Monday, and then I'm like, let me go and check. And I go inside the house. I climb on the scale. This 10 kg has not moved though. Can't move with one 20-minute walk on my treadmill on a Monday. I have to come back on Tuesday, Wednesday, week after week. I have to keep doing it. I have to watch what I eat. I have to watch my sugar intake. I have to eat vegetables. I have to eat fruits. I have to eat healthy. So it's not a one-off, one-time thing. It's not dramatic. It's the every time you choose to listen to every time you choose to unmute yourself rather than silence. For every choice you build. It's not a TED Talk moment. It's a quiet revolution. It's a quiet thing that happens inside of you. And it often begins with 4 simple steps. Keep the smallest promise. I'll say this again. The person you need to honor the most when it comes to building the life that you want is yourself. I'll give you an example with the treadmill. You wanted to lose 10 kg, but you keep procrastinating, saying that you're going to do the right thing, saying that you're going to, get on that treadmill or join the gym. Buy, if you don't like gym, create a mini home workout space in your house, just a few dumbbells, a few, anything, just small. You don't even need equipment, really. There are walking videos I used to use on YouTube. So you walk on the spot. I found it very effective, but I'm just saying. But what I'm saying is, you made a commitment and said that every day by 6 o'clock, I'm going to start going, I'm going to do this. Then you break that commitment. You're not honoring the woman that you are. You're not keeping the promise to yourself. So it's not about, so you're very good at keeping promises. You keep promises to every other person. You tell your friend, I'll call you by 2, you'll call by 2. You tell your children, I'll get you XYZ from Amazon. You get it from Amazon. Everybody knows, okay, you're reliable, but how reliable are you to yourself? How do you keep the promises you make to yourself? How do you keep showing up? How do you keep the promises, the commitments that you make for your own growth, for your own well-being, for your own mental health, for your own physical, spiritual, emotional, psychological being? How do you keep those commitments? How do you say at every day by 8 o'clock, I'm going to be doing my journaling, reflecting on my day, doing the things that I need to do, but you don't show up? You tell yourself it doesn't matter. You keep on putting yourself down in your own thoughts, telling yourself it doesn't matter. Okay, I will do it tomorrow. So every time you procrastinate, every time you do tomorrow, honoring the smallest promises you're making to yourself. So when you wake up in the morning, and this is talking to Debbie, and you say, they say first thing in the morning, drink, tepid water, just like warm water, like, and you made a commitment on your habit journal, or your habit tracker rather. You say to yourself, I'm going to drink water. You wake up in the morning and then, I don't know if like drink water. Who drinks water in the morning? Or you wake up in the morning every day by XYZ o'clock, I'm going to do this for Debbie before the kids wake up, or for myself before the kids wake up. When you don't honor it, you're just slowly eroding and eroding. The promises you keep to yourself are most important. So yes, it's good to keep your promises to your kids and to every other commitment, but keep the promises that you make to yourself. Wake up when you said you were going to wake up. Don't snooze the alarm. Train your brain to be able to take instructions. If there's anything like that, train your brain to take instructions. You are in charge, so wake up. Yes, I'm tired. Get up. Why? I'm self-leadership is very important. I am in charge here. Wake up. Say I'm going to wake up at 6. Get up. Set the alarm. Get up. And then the next thing, after I woke up at 6, to make it easy for me, I put 2 bottles of water by my bed. I wake up, I drink the water immediately, then I use the toilet, because obviously that also activates my bowels. But I'm honoring commitments. Then I go downstairs. Then I say to myself, I'm going to do the treadmill. Oh, I feel a little bit tired today. Honor the promises you've made to yourself. You cannot be teaching yourself that you're honorable, but you're not honoring the promises that you've made to your own self. You want to lose weight, you want to stop this, you want to stop that, you want to add this to your portfolio, you want to grow, but you're not committed to the things that you have will bring about these things. You're not committed to it, so you're teaching yourself not to even trust yourself. You're treating she says she's going to wake up at 6. She's not going to wake up at 6. What's the big deal? Let's leave her. Let her sleep. But you know how, even though yesterday I slept really late, and honestly, I've tried to, even like, I do lie in sometimes, but I've tried. I said, no, today I don't really want to rest, but my head still wakes. I don't know. I still wake up at the same time every day. I might not come downstairs, because there are days I put purposefully for rest, but I will wake up. I will force myself to go back to sleep, but I will wake up, because my brain already is so used to it that Debbie wakes up at this time, and that's it. So you're training everything you do to yourself, whether you're keeping your commitment or you're not keeping your commitment. You're actually training your brain. You're training yourself So you're the one who builds or destroys the self-trust. It's not another person. It's not what your husband did to you. It's not what your children are doing to you. You're the one who builds that self-trust by honoring the smallest. I'm not asking you to do the biggest, smallest promises. These things matter. When you say to yourself that you will do something and you stand up and you do it, you keep the commitment to yourself. Validate yourself first. Before posting or before asking, ask yourself, how does this feel true to me? You know, don't, it's not about every other person. It's about, how does this feel to me? How do I feel about this? You know, is this true to my vision? Is this true to my value? Is this, be at peace with it for yourself first. And maybe between you and God and all that. Let discomfort be data, not danger. Last week I talked about I talked about comfort, and I said I was talking about how we went to camp and how I realized that convenience. I was just, in fact, I didn't, when I was going to that camp, to be honest, I was like, oh, I'm a real Nigerian girl now. I went to boarding house. Everyone went to 2 different boarding houses, and all the boarding houses I went to were government boarding houses. So, not tush properties, not anything so great. I thought, my boarding house sense of survival would kick in again. I didn't realize that, over the years, I have become comfortable. I've sought comfort. So I was like, this thing is hard, but we'll do it. And that's why I kept telling myself, Debbie, you will do hard things, because discomfort is not danger. It is just data. If your voice shakes, it's still your voice. It's not like, it just tells you where you need to adjust. It just tells you where you need to build more strength, more stamina, more this or more that. It shows you where you need help, where you need to do some more personal development. It doesn't entirely mean that you are afraid. Just shows you where you need more work done. So take it as data. Take discomfort as I'm uncomfortable about this thing. Take it as data. I'm uncomfortable. But what do you do with the data when you get it? Oh, I need to work on this. Oh, I need to work on, there's so many books here. Sometimes I just tell myself, okay, what do I need to learn? I look back at the webinars that I do, blah, 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 blah. What do I need to learn? Why do I need to improve? How can I get feedback to improve? So it's not that somebody telling you, even someone even correcting you is actually, they don't like me. No, just take it as information. How can I use it to make myself a better human, a better version of myself? Take it as information. If your voice is shaking, let it shake. But it's still your voice. Still speak. Still speak. Not when your voice meets with opposition and you start to shrink again. No, it's still your voice. It still matters. You're training yourself to show up for you. You're training yourself to show up for yourself. You're training your voice. You're training yourself. You're training your brain to keep standing up. The first time is the hardest. But as you do it, you find out that, I've just been cheating myself all along. And nobody's a mind reader. Like they used to tell us in marriage classes. Nobody's a mind reader. Your husband can't read your mind. So sometimes you don't speak. Nobody knows. You're not getting what you want just because you're silent. Protect your energy like royalty. You're no longer available. I don't want to sing the song that is barraging my head right now. I know you know the song because it's not my type of song. But you're no longer available. Oh, you're not. You're not available for what deems you anymore. Tell yourself that. I am no longer available for whatever deems me. If it deems me, I'm out. I think in our adult age, we're too old to be staying in relationships or in friendships. Let me not use the word relationships, but in friendships that deem us. That you finish talking to somebody on the phone, you're asking yourself, what have I done with my time? How have I done? You feel dirty, you feel strained, you feel drained. I don't think you should be in those type of friendships. It's not necessary. You finish chatting with somebody and asking yourself, have I gossiped? Have I not gossiped? What have I done with my 20 minutes with this person, 30 minutes, 1 hour with this person? You really need to find relationships that fuel you, propel you, and help you to go where you're going. Protect your energy. like royalty. Even if everything is falling down in the house, and you know you're just in that space where there's so much chaos and confusion, protect your energy like royalty. It's very important. Protect your energy like royalty. I want you to ask yourself one more question. What small promise can I keep to myself this week that will make my inner self feel seen again? What small promise can I keep to myself this week that will make my inner self feel safe again? Think about it. Is it a commitment to journaling? Is it a commitment to waking up earlier so that you can do one or two things before the kids wake up? I know that I'm not in any way diminishing how hard these things can be, but everything is a mindset. Somebody asked me a question and I said, if you want it real bad, you will make a way. If you don't want it real bad, you will make an excuse. How bad do you want your growth? How bad do you want to stop feeling small? How bad do you want to stop feeling unseen? Make time for yourself. Arise in the morning. Shine. Arise and shine. Make time for yourself. Make time for the things that matter to you. Make time. Make time. Schedule it. Keep an appointment with yourself. Self-appointment. If you had an appointment in the salon, you will be there on time. Have an appointment with yourself and show up on that appointment on time. Treat yourself like royalty. We treat you like royalty. How you treat yourself, how you carry yourself, the things that you bring around you matter. You know, we keep saying our voice matters, but how do you show up for that voice that even matters? Don't keep eroding your self-trust. Don't. You don't need to. Don't keep eroding your self-trust, because we as human beings, we make decisions every day, minute decisions, small decisions, every day. So many ta ta ta. Whoa, like you told the kids, the decisions are coming ta 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 ta. Don't erode your own voice in the volume of all the decisions that you make. Make decisions you make about your growth, about yourself, part of the most loudest decisions that you make in your life, about the things you want to start, about the business you want to start, about the book you want to write, about the blog you want to start, about showing up for yourself. Make it an important thing, make it a priority. You start to teach your brain how to make you a priority. So sometimes you're doing self-consultation in your head. You're doing self-consultation and you're like, who do I go and ask for advice? Why can't you ask the you? And yes, I know that there's safety in multitude of counsel. But before you start seeking counsel, what's your own stand? What's your own vision? What have you seen for your own life? Where do you stand as a person? So that you're not getting counsel, and in that multitude of counsel, you get confused. The counsel should be able to, solidify the decisions you have made for your own self, or decisions you have prayed about, or decisions that you are settled in your spirit about. So those are like confirmation, and not just trying to douse your own light. These things are very important. I didn't just set out to be a coach. I became one because I knew what it felt like to wake up one day and not recognize yourself. It's something that is real. It's something that happens. To look successful on the outside but empty on the inside. Don't be empty on the inside. I understand what it means to feel that way. I understand what it means to just live, but you're not live. To just be there. You are, but you're not actually fulfilled on the inside. No fulfillment, no inner fulfillment, no verve, no energy. I used to derive energy from helping people. It's something I love to do. As I was born, I feel like I was born with it. But there's a difference, like I said, between people pleasing and just being a lover of people. Like you want to do things for people just because you love them, but then there's a thin line. So I understand what it means to be empty on the inside, unfulfilled. You're constantly yelling at your children, you're constantly upset, you're constantly scowling, your face is constantly has a frown. to serve everyone else and feel unseen in your own life. And I chose. I chose. I chose the kind of guide I chose to become the kind of guide I wish I had. And that's why I became a coach. I chose to be someone who didn't speak just truth, but helped you to speak truth to yourself. So choose to speak truth to yourself today. Choose to speak truth. When you tell yourself the truth, so telling yourself the truth also doesn't mean denying who you are, you know? It doesn't mean denying who you are. It doesn't mean denying what you are. It doesn't mean denying your weak points. When you tell yourself the truth, oh, I'm not generally happy. I'm always, I'm always moody. I'm always joyless. When you start to tell yourself the truth, so you tell yourself the truth and you also ask yourself, how can I change that narrative? It's very important. Self-awareness. How did I get here? Why am I here? Why am I in this, why am I in this situation? Why am I what is it that I can do to change my story? There's no story that can't be changed. There's no story that cannot be reversed. There's no life. I don't know how old you are, but there's no life that cannot be changed, even if you're an older person. It doesn't even matter. Your brain is rewired for change. It can be changed. Anything can be learned. Anything can be figured out. So don't put yourself down. Don't live in that state of lack of self-trust. Build again. Build again. The loudest transformation is often the quietest one. When a woman remembers who she is, that's a very loud transformation. Remember who you are before your name changed to mom, 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 or babe, or anyone. Just remember, she's in there, waiting to be explored again, waiting to be visited again, waiting to shine again. She's in there, waiting for the self-trust to be built again. She's in there, she's hiding, but she no longer needs to hide. And that's why we're here, your discovery coach. We help women who feel invisible, who feel unseen. We help women, come out of that state, come out of that, unseenness or invisibility narrative. And I'm still just going to open my Becoming Her program, 5-week program for one more time. We're starting fully next week. And if you're here, you're listening to me and you still want to come on the program, just send me a DM and we would respond to you, or the link in the bio. If you want to go on a deeper if you want to make a deeper commitment to your journey or becoming you, sign up. You may not get the one-to-one 30 minutes because that was what we have done this week. But if you want to join us, sign up. Come back to the woman that you were. Take a journey. Because it's not something, I won't credit my being here by myself. It's something that you need a hand to hold you. You need a hand to bring you along. Transformation is actually very, very interesting. Very interesting, very deep, but you need help. We all need help. And the moment you recognize your need for help and your need to, grow, and your need to come along, and your need to become, you will start to take the decisions that will help you to become the woman that you were meant to be. So if you feel like, there's a whisper stirring in your heart, you're tired of silencing yourself, come along. It's not too late to find who you are. It's not too late to find you. Come along, and we'll be happy to take you on this journey. And this brings me to the end of today's webinar. I told you I was going to keep it short and simple. 45 minutes of your time, and I kept to my word. Thank you for joining me this afternoon. And if you have any questions, if you have any concerns, always feel free to reach out to your discovery coach. You can reach out to us on the links in the bio. You can reach out to us on Instagram. You can reach out to us on DM. We are always happy to take your questions, and we're always happy to be a guide to women. This is what we were born to do. Thank you, and do have an amazing day.